It's the end of December and thinking about spring coming in a couple months, and I think I'm going to set up an asparagus bed back in this back corner. Now asparagus ferns grow really tall, the not the part you eat, and so I want it kind of at the back of this garden. And I had this old base from a bed that it has sections, and it's, I don't know if it's aluminum. Yeah, it is aluminum. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to make 2, maybe 3 sections asparagus, and then the front one I'm going to put low growing garlic in that, and that will help keep pests away, but it will be separated from the asparagus, so hopefully it won't have any inhibiting properties on that. Asparagus is one of those things that takes a while to get established. I had it established, had a nice little patch of it, and then I put up my high tunnel, and when I put that up I had to move the asparagus because it was right where the wall was coming down. So I dug it up, and it's just been sitting in a cool place, and it's about to be replanted. The first thing I need to do is pull up this black tarp and clean out any weeds that are still under there and get that nice before I lay the white frame down. Hold the plastic back. Doesn't look too bad. There's a few weeds sort of encroaching. I'm also thinking about mowing. Like, I'm gonna have to mow up against the edge of this. So I may want to figure out some type of barrier low enough to mow over, but weed preventive enough to help with that. All right, I've got it placed, and I use the top panels that normally go between the frame and the mattress as sort of a frame around this so that I won't have to weed eat all the time. I can just mow over the edge of this because it's low enough. And I can plant in here. So my thought is that I will lay my asparagus roots in here on the soil, and then I will cover with more soil. They're supposed to be about 6 inches deep, so if I fill it all the way to the top of these slats, the slats are 4 inches, they're about 1 inch over the soil, so that gives me 5. And of course the roots can go down into the soil if they need to. So that's the plan. These are the asparagus roots that I salvaged. I'm a little worried because they're very dry. I may have killed them. So I'm gonna have to watch very carefully this spring. And if no little shoots come up, I'm gonna have to go buy some new asparagus roots to plant. All right, so I scratched up the soil a little bit, kind of placed them in there in these 2 areas, and I'm going to dump soil over the top and then water. So I have all these pavers left over from a patio installation which never came to fruition. So I'm going to take some of those and put them around the outside. That will help keep the soil in and hold those plastic pieces down. The tiles are going to help hold in the soil. I tipped this one on the end to remind me to lift the mower bed when I get to this point so I don't catch that little edge. I've got the first 2 sections with asparagus in them. I'm going to spread a little compost on top before I finish up my very top layer. All right, there we go. So those 2 sections are planted with my asparagus, and keep the other 2 covered until I get around to planting more asparagus or garlic or something. No reason to let weeds grow in that in the meantime. The only thing I'm worried about now is that my dog will decide this is the perfect place to dig. So I think I may get some old fence panels that I have laying around and sort of block that off so that she can't get in there too easily. Okay, now it looks a little bit like a pet cemetery, but that should keep her out of there. It won't keep the rabbits out, but it will keep my big dog out. And hopefully the deer